Hello, everybody. This is Brad the Grunner, and I'm interviewing my good friend of many years, Arash Rahbar, IFBB Pro. And okay, we're just sitting here on a Saturday night, shooting the breeze, talking bodybuilding. So Arash, could you tell us a little bit about your history, how you got into bodybuilding, how you got into the gym, and your journey from just being a guy in the gym training like everybody else in the gym to actually being an IFBB Pro?
Yeah, man, it all started at a very early age. I guess similar to most guys, playing with G.I. Joes, seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger on the big screen, Sylvester Stallone, Hulk Hogan, and just, aspiring to be like those guys. I started playing with some weights in the house at like 12 years old. 13, I was going to the high school gym, and started really lifting weights at 13, 14 years old. I played football in high school, so we had a great weight room and we had a great coach that kind of taught us the ropes. By 16, I was like a full-blown mini bodybuilder. I didn't have the guidance or the people around me to compete. I think I would have been a good team bodybuilder, but I just had such a drive and passion to grow and be better and better and better, and I was never satisfied. So I did the best I could with researching and growing, reading. Back then, it wasn't as easy as for the younger guys today with the social media and YouTube. We didn't have any of that. So it was basically what I learned from older guys in the gym, from articles and magazines. And then years later, we had some forums that were useful. But early on in high school, I was carrying around a gallon of water. I remember I used to stand out and everyone was like, "What are you drinking so much water for?" And I was eating the 4, 5, 6 meals a day, and it was tough because, I didn't know that eating clean could taste good. I didn't know I was eating like heads of lettuce and like a half a pound of turkey, like sliced turkey breast. So it wasn't easy to say the least, but I was bitten by the bodybuilding bug, and it became a part of my life. And I remember I dieted in high school for a vacation I went on with my cousin and my uncle, and although I didn't compete until 20 years later, I didn't compete until 2014. I competed for the first time in 2014. I've been bodybuilding for 22 years. I just have the love for it, and I don't lift and I don't train and eat the way that I do now to compete. I compete because I train and eat the way I do. I mean, Brad, you remember, when we first met, like we were just both fanatic. We were psychopaths with bodybuilding. All we did was talk bodybuilding, talk about food, and train. And I was packing my meals. I was making sure I got 6, 7 meals in, X amount of protein all year long, all the time. I mean, for years and years and years. And I dedicate where I am today, how I got here today, to that. And people will always point the finger about, this guy's genetics. Oh, your shoulders look like that because of this, or your arms look like that because of this, because you're taking this supplement, or because you're just genetically gifted. But they see the end result. They see you on social media, they see you on stage or standing before them, but they don't see what went into it. They don't know how long you've been doing this. I mean, I'm 35 years old now, and again, 22 years, and 20 years without competing. It took a long time. I see some young guys, 22, 25 years old, and I'm like, wow, these guys are phenomenal. I didn't look like that when I was 22, 25, So I definitely do consider myself to have good genetics, but I don't think I have the best genetics in the world, But it was a long road. I wasn't sure where it was going to lead me. I just knew I loved it, And now that I'm prepping for Classic Physique, we're 3 weeks out and 5 weeks out of 2 shows, Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro. The other day I was talking to someone and I said, I've been prepping for these shows for 20 years. This division just came out this year. I didn't know this division was going to come around, but all those years of training, I mean, I did compete in physique, but my heart really wasn't. I'm a bodybuilder at heart, so I feel like all the work I did, all the training, all the years, not knowing what I was going to do, not necessarily competing, it all led to this,
Right. Thank you for that thorough history. So let's get into, now that you talked about how you have arrived to being an IFBB Pro, from your experience competing so far, turning pro and competing in a very important pro show in the past, has anything changed? Has your mindset been even turned up a notch? I mean, what does it take to be a champion? What is going to separate you? What do you think is going to make you the guy that wins in your class in classic physique?
Well, yeah, you know, the sport, I feel like as an athlete, as a bodybuilder, you're always changing, you're always growing, you're always evolving, because as your body changes and your mind changes, everything changes with it. And when I competed again in 2014, I did the Atlantic States, my first show ever. I won overall. I placed, I think, 12th 2 weeks later at Team U. Very different judging panel. And then I went on to become a pro at the North American Championships in Pittsburgh, which I won overall. And I remember the day after I won Atlantic States, I was right back in the gym training like a maniac. It pushed me harder. I mean, I was very happy and I was very proud of myself, but for me, I won an amateur show, that's fine, but I didn't let it get to my head. I just kept my hood on, my music, and I just trained harder and harder and harder. And a lot of people will say, oh my God, you turned pro so fast. But yeah, I guess competitively, yes, I did. I turned pro in a few months. But again, 20 years. A lot of guys nowadays, I see them, they've been training 2-3 years competing, 4 or 5 years competing. I had been dieting, having off season and having a cut cycles or whatever you want to call it, every year for like 15, 18 years. So I don't think, maybe I didn't step on a stage, but I had that foundation. I had the fundamentals. I knew how to get myself in shape. So what sets me apart? The mentality and mindset of a champion is not that of your average competitor. How bad you want it and how you view yourself. I'm not doing this to, not to be disrespectful. I mean, I made a lot of friends in the industry, but I'm not doing this for fun, and it is a lot of fun, but I want to win. When people are like, oh, we're going out to have fun, and okay, that's fine and dandy, but if anyone tells you they don't want to win, they're lying, So I have a vision for myself. I have a goal for myself, the way I want to look, the way I want to be perceived, and what I want to accomplish, and that is in my head all day long. When I wake up, when I do my cardio, when I'm stretching, when I'm posing, when I'm prepping my meals, when I'm training, when I'm exhausted. I mean, you guys see me sitting here lounging on the couch, just a little drained today, a little tired, 3 weeks out, low calories, and today was just one of those days where I woke up and it was tough getting out of bed. Your legs are always, you train legs heavy and you're constantly doing cardio. They're always tired, and walking upstairs, sometimes I feel like they're gonna buckle under you. But what did I do? I woke up, I had my black coffee, and I did an hour of cardio. It wasn't easy. I gotta be honest. Today was tough, but I want to win. I want to go and be my best. And honestly, this is a sport that it's not a team sport. We're in it on our own pretty much. We have a lot of people. Chris Aceto's my coach, and he's great. Justin Miller helps with my posing. Colette Nelson puts together my choreography, but at the end of the day, they will show me something. They will teach me something. They will guide me in the direction, but I have to do it on my own. But that being said, all the support and all the comments and all the stuff that I get on social media or text or email, it honestly means the world to me, and it drives me so much more. When someone gives me even a compliment, like, it just makes me want to be that much better, not only for me, but for them, and I know they're not going to share the victory with me on stage, but I like to share my experience and whatever knowledge I have, and I'm still learning, with them as much as possible, and it gives me a lot of joy when people appreciate something of value that I share with them, or if they can learn from me. But to go back, I kind of strayed off your question. To go back to your question, I'm not going to let up. I'm not going to cheat on my diet. There's no such thing as cheating on my diet. I mean, I haven't messed. I mean, last time I ate something I wasn't supposed to eat on a diet was I think I was 19 years old. It's just at this level, at this age, being a pro, that's not going to happen. A lot of people will say, yeah, I'm strict on my diet. But listen, man, if you're telling me you're eating that and you only look like that, I know you're not following your diet. So no one gives a shit what I eat. It's about what I look like that day. If you can eat Oreos and cake and come down diced for a show, then God bless you. I can't, and I won't. I don't go easy in the gym. I train hard every single day, no matter what, no matter how tired I am, bad mood or whatever. And one thing that's changed is that you get a little bit older, your body changes, and you learn that this sport is not just about having a protein shake and going to the gym and taking pictures and lifting heavy. There's a lot of variables, over there I have a 15-foot yoga mat and 5 foam rollers. You gotta stretch. I get deep tissue work done. You have to work around tweaks, aches, pains, and injuries. You know, when you're younger, you just fly into the gym, don't warm up, start training, and leave. But that shit doesn't fly anymore, for me at least. It takes me longer to warm up. You gotta get mentally prepared, and you always gotta be paying attention to your body, listening to your body, and not just doing stupid things that can potentially injure you. So there's just so many variables to this sport. You know, it's not a 9 to 5 where at 5 o'clock you punch out and you're gone. You're working when you're sleeping. You're working when you're eating. You're working when you're training. You're working when you're not training. It's constant, all the time. Whatever you do as a bodybuilder is going to affect your end result on a daily basis.
Right. Definitely is a grueling endeavor, as you folks can see here, and from what my friend is saying. Do you consider this? I mean, this is very sacrificial. Many people will be watching this saying, "Oh my God, this is such sacrifice." We all know that you do not get paid like a contract athlete in the NFL or NBA or anything like that. I mean, so to you, this is just special in itself, right? Is that what drives you? I mean, obviously it's very important to you, but many people maybe listening would say, why would you do that sacrifice? You look at it as a sacrifice, but to me, you love it so much it might not even be a